Hey guys, my name is Kyle Claus, and in this video, we're gonna go over my exact numbers for the year of 2024 in auditions, bookings, availability checks, and all the things. It's almost 2026 when this video is being made, but I realized that I did not go over my 2024 numbers, and I wanted to do that now while I'm still getting my numbers ready for 2025. The reason I really wanted to make this video is if you're getting into the business of acting, if you're aspiring to be an actor, or even if you are an actor and you are wondering what it's like for others, I can tell you this video really helps put things into perspective. If you don't know who I am, my name is Kyle Claus. I'm an actor, entrepreneur. I'm a professional SAG TV and film actor. I've been acting for years. I've been on top TV shows such as FBI, Happy, Blacklist, Homeland, to name a few, and I've also acted on professional movie sets and independent film sets. A lot of people, I believe, that are not in the acting business, they don't know what it's like for a professional actor day to day and throughout the year. They only see the end product when that person is on movie sets and on TV, because that's what they see, and that is somewhat like the tip of the iceberg. They see when you've reached the mountaintop, but they don't see the whole climb before that, or what's all underneath, building that momentum and building that end product of when you basically win that championship race or get to the top of the mountain. That's essentially what an acting job is when you're acting on professional TV and film sets. So that's why I wanted to make this video, to go over my numbers, put things into perspective, also wrap my mind around what the expectations can be going forward. And I think this will help you as you're watching the video, thinking about getting into acting, knowing what to expect, and not being so hard on yourself. You know, when you get an audition, and if you do it and you think you did great, but then you don't hear anything. And that's the hard thing these days, is because since the pandemic, now everything's on video. Now we are taping, we are getting auditions from our reps, we are putting them on camera with another reader, and we're submitting them ourselves, a lot of times not hearing anything. Before the pre-pandemic, it was always going into the room with the casting director and you would at least be able to read. Now, I will say that things were a lot more nerve-wracking back then, because you had to have that lines memorized, and you were reading with the casting director and you only had that one go at it. Now you have as many takes as you want to prepare, so auditioning is much less nerve-wracking and stressful, but you don't get that immediate feedback of if the scene is working or not. All right, we're gonna go over my 2024 numbers right now. So I keep an Excel spreadsheet, and in 2024, I had a total of 90 auditions. It was a good year for auditions. And out of those 90 auditions, I declined 5 of them for whatever reason or another. Now, I think one I got, it was non-union by accident, and I'm a union member, so I didn't want that. Another one called for different language, and maybe my rep or someone thought I could speak that language, but not as well. So that's another reason that you don't want to lie on your resume or anything like that. Now, if you say you speak conversational Spanish and you know a couple words and the audition comes back and it's full couple pages in Spanish, maybe you want to, deny that audition. But for whatever reason or not, I denied 5 auditions. So put me at 85 auditions total. That's not bad. Considering there's 52 weeks in a year, that's almost about 2 auditions a week. Not bad. Now, out of these 85 auditions, I got 8 Avail checks. Now, what is an Avail check? Let's say there's 50 people they give an audition to, and out of those 50 people, 5 of them do a great enough job that almost about any 5 of them can be picked for the role in the casting director's mind. That casting director might be ready to send those 5 people to producers, and those producers will have to do the job of picking 1 out of 5 people. But before they do that, they will actually go to the agents who are repping these 5 actors who submitted these auditions and say, hey, is your actor available for this date? We're just making sure it's an Avail check, that they are ready, willing, and able to work during any of these dates, because we are going to send them to producers. That is essentially an Avail check. Now, I got 8 of those out of the 90 or so auditions I did, 85 auditions. That's a 1 in 10% chance that I'm gonna get an Avail check for a audition. Now that's a great sign. That really dwindles your chances down to a much better percentage that you're going to book 1 out of those 5 instead of sending it in with 50 other auditions. When you get an Avail check, you know your 1 in 5 chance of getting this. Now, out of these 8 Avail checks, I got 3 pins. Now, what a pin is, maybe they gave those 5 people an Avail check. They sent those 5 names to the producers. Now, this is not how it always is exactly, but a pin could be they're going to put a hold or a pin on this actor for this role, but it's not exactly a booking. But out of those 8, I got 3 pins and 1 callback, which I would think is close to a pin. So let's just call it 4. A callback is where you put your audition in, and what I ended up doing was I read for, it was a part in Blue Bloods, I believe. It's no longer in the air. I was really hoping to get it. It was the last season. I read for a part in Blue Bloods, and the next day they got back to my agent and said, hey, Kyle, we'd like to do a producer session. I believe it was on a Friday. So what that meant was I sent in my tape, and it was essentially like a pin because they were down to a couple people, and I was reading on Zoom while there was other producers watching. Now this would essentially be the same as a callback where, you know, the first go around, you go with the casting director in the office, you're reading with them, they're putting you on tape, they're sending it to the producers, and then they call you back. And now you're with a smaller pool of actors that they think really could handle the role, and they have either the producer session is right there, so the producers are watching it live and able to make decisions live. So out of those 8 Avail checks, I got 4 callbacks, producer sessions, or pins. Out of 85 auditions, that is 4%. So 4%, which is 4 out of 100, I'll get a pin. Now, out of all these, you might be wondering, how many did I book? Well, for 2024 year, I booked 1 audition. And it wasn't really even an audition. It was somebody who sought me out and looked on Facebook. I thought it was a joke at first. Thought they were crazy. Then I had somebody else that they gave me this is why referrals are so big in the business. They gave me a referral to someone who they knew I knew because I was Facebook friends with them, and they had worked on another project of theirs. So I continued the discussion. Now, I did just do an audition because it was procedural. Just as a procedure, standard practice, we read, and I read with another actor, and I just felt it that this is exactly what they were looking for. And as soon as we were done, they said, Kyle, you're hired. So I wish all auditions and bookings were that easy, but that's what happened in this case, that I did book something. So look, it just goes to show you that a actual professional actor, I worked for 2 weeks on set in Florida. I auditioned 85 times. If you take 1 divided by 85 auditions, that is 1%. So I think that's a little low. I'm not happy with those numbers. I feel like 5% is about between 5 and 8%. You're really rocking auditions, because that's booking about almost 1 in 10. But yes, this is that's where it's at right now. We'll go from there. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this puts some things into perspective. Feel free to leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts, your comments, if you'd like to know any more. I'm not asking much for this video other than you to like it if you got any kind of good information out of this video, and subscribe if you have not done so already. I will come back with 2026's numbers in the next video. Thanks so much.